So let us welcome Reverend Dan Kendrick, open our minds and hearts to his words and his spirit.
Well, good morning, everyone. Is the volume okay? All right, good, thank you. Well, maybe we can start by continuing to tune into the light. I invite you to join me to tune in to the light and the way that works for you. I've noticed with myself that at different times, different ways of tuning into the light work, and what worked yesterday may not work today. So then the question is, if that's the case, then what's going to be working today to tune into the light? It may require something new, may require a different approach. And the thing about that is to figure out what the different approach is requires being present in this moment. You might ask yourself, am I present here now in this moment? Or is there something that's asking for my attention outside this moment? And if there is something that's drawing your attention, I mean, there's one possibility would be, well, maybe that part of you needs some attention. That it hasn't been getting. The other day on vacation, my wife and I spent about 5 days in Crestone, and the outdoor activities consisted of me following her up a 14,000 foot peak, which I wasn't following very close behind. She's 9 years younger than I am, and I've slowed down a little bit. But I did manage a 7-mile round trip. I woke up one morning on vacation and I noticed a part of myself crying inside. I wasn't crying externally, I was crying internally. And I'm just getting in touch with that part of myself now. So I hope you're seeing that the words I'm speaking, I include myself in them. And I'm directing myself, and I'm not trying to direct you. Figure I've done enough of that trying to direct my wife and having zero success. So but I have much more success when I work with myself, being present in the moment. And I was just getting in touch with this part of myself. That one that was crying, and as I was in touch with that part of myself, it was just wanting my attention. And I could say I came over and crawled into my own arms. And just loved myself. Just as I am. And it turns out that's all that part wanted. Just a little attention, a little word of I love you. Not just word though. You know, the action is such a key to bring it all the way through here. Somehow it's got to go beyond words. So that loving embrace is the action that brought the loving in to myself. So maybe I could ask you, what, if any, message are you getting for yourself today? I was actually working with a group yesterday, and the experience of Jesus being on the cross came up. And the two thieves on the cross. And the one turning to Jesus on the cross. And Jesus said something like, "Today you will be with me in paradise." And when I became aware of that statement, somehow it came right into this moment today, May 29th, 2022. You are with me in paradise. Today, you're with me in paradise. So if there's part of you wondering if is this paradise, and if that's a true statement, today you're with me, this moment you're with me in paradise. And I think it becomes process for each one of us is, well, is this paradise or is this Longmont, Colorado? Or Loveland, or wherever you may be. Kate and I watched the movie Good Morning Vietnam. Not particularly a recent movie, with Robin Williams. And there's a scene in there where he's a DJ on the radio and he starts playing the song, and I say to myself, what a wonderful day. I see babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I say to myself, what a wonderful day. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. And all the time the music's playing, they have scenes of a violent war going on, bombs dropping, people being blown to bits, children running in horror. Is this paradise? So maybe the question is, how can I bring myself to the wonderful day experience? And I think the answer that comes to me is that I'm in the process of doing that very thing. So maybe I could ask you how your process is going. I think you will have a chance to answer if you want to a little later. You may need to make a note to yourself. But it does bring up the question, how do I resolve those two seeming polarities of paradise and war and conflict and pain and suffering? And what if those two polarities are not in conflict? What if paradise and the pain and suffering are not in conflict? What if they're both serving each other in a greater purpose to reveal the greater? There's a statement, God loves all of its creation. Think about that and perhaps today I'm raising many more questions than I'm answering. But I figure even if I had some answers, it doesn't mean it would be your answer. It would just be my answer. And you may say, well, I agree with your answer. Or you may say, I disagree with your answer. That doesn't work for me. But I think if there was only one answer I could give, at least for myself, I would say love is the answer. The other day, this was maybe a week ago, I was surprised. I was just doing, I don't know, I was here at the house and doing something, cleaning, straightening up a little bit. I think I was in the kitchen. And this very violent thought came into my mind to do physical harm to someone. And it was rather shocking to my consciousness. I shuddered at the idea of actually following through with it. And then I realized I started doing something with that towards myself in the form of shaming myself that I would have such a violent thought. And my energy level, I started taking a plunge. Going into a feeling of unworthiness. That, I mean, if I kept going with it, it'd be, I don't deserve to be called a child of God. You get the idea. I was going down in my consciousness until in my awareness, and this all happened within a minute or two, I embraced myself, that thought, bathed in loving. And realized there was no need to be ashamed. In other words, I forgave myself. And that whole process and that thought just shriveled and went away and was dissolved through grace. So maybe that's what we're doing here, each one of us in our own way. If we're choosing the way of the light, we're bringing a light and we're dissolving the negativity as it shows up. We're bringing light, love, understanding, empathy, compassion. And where is that needed? It's needed in the darkest places, in the darkest areas. within myself and outside myself. Until that day comes in awareness where we say, today I'm with you in paradise. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. And we will hear from Christina. Thank you, Christina. It's at this time that we go into our donation of love and light by taking a breath together again. And as we rest in our bodies and our spirits, we become increasingly aware of the love and light that we are. We also become aware that we could share this love, we could share this light. And so at this time we do that, we share it. We know the love and the light goes where it is needed. And at this time, we say thank you. And so it is. We'll finish with music from Christina.